Hello, all. Welcome back to my channel. And today I am reviewing a 1 hour and 23-minute film called Gracie, which is yet to be released. This is a horror psychological thriller film directed by Eric E. Poe. So the story is about a lady called Gracie who's a psychopathic killer. Vincent struggles to lead a normal life, hiding Gracie from the world. Can Vincent rein in Gracie's homicidal habits before she ruins his chance at happiness? So we meet the clearly delusional Gracie, who is a child in an adult's body and likes to murder people. The first scene is when she's chasing down a victim, and it's a great hook to pull the viewer in right away. So her choice of weapon is a crowbar. Unfortunately for me, who has reviewed many indie films, the crowbar seems to be the go to weapon. I would have liked it to have been something and maybe a little bit more original. Perhaps another tool would have been more frightening, something that hasn't been used before. So, anyway, at the WO Cyber Protection Office, we are introduced to the characters early on, which is great because then we know who all the main characters are. So, we meet Meredith, who's fallen for her work colleague Vincent Grimm, but he is hiding a terrible secret. Vincent and his co-worker Jack. So they're both wanting to be promoted to a managerial position within the organization. So there is some tension between them that helps to explore the characterization of Vincent. Gracie is Vincent's sister and they live together. So he does know what she gets up to in her spare time. When he sees what she's done, he isn't fazed by it, so this has probably been going on for years. I also get the idea he's somewhat scared of her, which makes total sense. So we meet Detective Jones, who turns up at the house looking for a man called Thomas Clark, who was door knocking for a political campaign in the area, and Vincent is acting sketchy and doesn't want her in the house. So there are some good relationship dynamics happening, as the clearly obnoxious Jack thinks he is best suited to be with Meredith, so I like the tension happening there. Also, the characterization of Jack is good in that we learn how annoying he is and why Meredith wants nothing to do with him. So, when she ends up going to Vincent's house to help him with a presentation, they have an argument about Gracie, and this is when she should have walked away from him for good because she can sense something's very off about him. Our work colleague goes missing, which adds mystery into the story arc. Her boyfriend turns up at the police station to talk with Detective Jones, as she's a detective with the missing persons unit. I like that as it adds mystery into the story arc. So Detective Jones, while she's listening to the boyfriend, she's managing to put some of the pieces together. So what she does is she ends up talking to homicide detective Leeson to discuss the cases and how they're linked. I like the instances with the police as it adds flesh to the storyline and the overall plot. So, since we learned that Vincent is a Gemini, we do see two different sides of his character, which is great. So this seems to be some sort of symbolism within the film is zodiac signs. Beside Jack and Chase, I think his name is, they have their star signs up. So that's another element added into the film, which I don't know why it's there, but um, for me, I think it's so that we can see the two different sides of Vincent. So, the two different sides are so, on one hand, he's very abrupt and protective about his sister, and whenever she's brought up in a conversation, he basically lashes out and sulks and just acts like a big baby. Um, but on the other hand, on the surface, he seems like a really nice guy, friendly, approachable. Um, so it sort of makes him a bit of an enigma, and I think that's what Meredith is gravitating towards. Is he's a little bit different. He's a bit off the wall. Um, uh, so anyway, as the story progresses, we can see that his inner world, Vincent's inner world, is spiraling out of control as his overbearing sister Gracie is making his life a living hell. It's interesting to see how he manages this constant chaos that's happening around him whilst trying to hold everything together, because he's also trying to get the promotion as well. So it's quite an intriguing situation going on. When Meredith arrives at Vincent's house at another stage in the film, for a dinner, she's drawn to the motif of the film, which is a painting on the wall in the living room of Gracie, and it's giving her the creepy vibes. We finally get some backstory about the siblings when Meredith and Vincent are talking at the over dinner. Um, However, we still don't find out why Gracie is the way she is, which is really interesting. So when Meredith actually meets Gracie for the first time, it ups the intensity levels, which we really needed to bring the film back to life. I also enjoyed the moment when Vincent actually has it out with Gracie, and sticks up for himself. It's a good dilemma. To add depth to the film and to let us know that he's not a total pushover. There are instances, however, where I thought the characters were not believable enough. For instance, the matching of Meredith and Vincent just felt off. To me, I would not have put those two together because Vincent's character is not, although he might seem friendly, he's not really the approachable type. He's not somebody you'd want to walk up to and have a conversation with. He's not that type of person, um, which made it feel a little bit forced. But that's just my opinion. Um, the other instance is when the church lady turns up at the house and is trying to scam Gracie of money. Would she really, like the lady of the church be on the phone discussing the plan to take Gracie's money when we know there's absolutely no way Gracie couldn't have heard the conversation because she's just in the next room. So yeah, the ending sequence works well in that we get some good resolutions happening. So Tara, who happens to be one of the managers at the cyber protection company, her and Meredith decide to go to Vincent's house to see if they can stop Jack from hurting Vincent, uh, because the cyber protection organization is quite a big factor in the film, and the characters or the what would you say, the colleagues and the co-workers in the office have started to disappear. So people are kind of pointing their fingers at Vincent, as perhaps one of the suspects. So Jack gets hold of this information and decides to go and have it out with Vincent. So Tara and Meredith, thinking they know what they're doing, turn up at Vincent's house to try and stop Jack. So they should never have gone there without the police in the first place. Anyway, the suspense is building nicely at this stage. It it should have been maybe a bit more during the film as opposed to just at the end. But I don't know. It's due to the fact that we have time to invest in some of these characters, especially Meredith, and Vincent at this stage. The viewer is just sticking around to find out how it plays out, basically. I mean, it's good enough film to watch, but the momentum keeps it's there because we want to find out how everything's going to end up. So when we finally learn the backstory about Vincent and Gracie, I was absolutely blown away with the massive twist at the end. Like, it, breathless. I didn't see it coming, which is an added bonus. I enjoyed the psychological aspect to the film as it enhances the storyline and the overall plot. All in all, this is worth a watch. I mostly enjoyed it, though I have to admit some parts were a little drawn out and long-winded. But I think the pacing worked mostly to keep the momentum flowing in this one. Give this one a watch for an interesting experience. It's definitely a different. It's a different type of horror. Um, it has good good graphic scenes in there. Maybe a bit more would have been would have been better, but this is part thriller as well, so I can see why it's not a full-on slasher or anything like that. Not at all. It's got a storyline to it and everything, and a plot and all that really good stuff. Yeah. So I will link the trailer in this video in the description section of the video. The film's not out at the moment. I think it's just been completed. I just happened to get a screener copy. And yeah, so that has been my review of Gracie by Eric E. Poe, and it runs for an hour and 23 minutes, which is a really good amount of time. It's not too long and it's not too short. So yeah, that has been my review, and until next time, stay safe out there, take care, and we'll see you soon. Bye for now.